Hey guys, it's me, and today we have day 4 here in South Korea. I finally catch some sleep, yes, after yesterday, after the party, and I had a good meal. Guess what I had? Berner sausages and rice. Well, finally a proper meal after the last 3 days, so I'm full of energy. Perfect, because at the afternoon I've got courses, so I've got to make some preparations and let's look how they will work. So, the first thing I have to find today is the library, because I need some books. And you hear that this tree is just starting to annoy me again. So, just some little insects, you almost don't see them, but they can be pretty noisy. But let's go into the library. Should be here somewhere on the campus. And boy, you've got no idea how warm it is today. It's like in June at home. Summer just got some kind of extension from me right here. I wonder what kind of weather you have at home. Oh, I'm finally here in the bright sun, but I found the library. Look over there. It's quite an impressive building, I think. And it's huge. I wonder how it will be inside. Around me the campus is huge. I walk now for 10 minutes and the surroundings are a lot of apartment buildings and more apartment buildings, but it's actually, I must say, the campus is quite green. There are a lot of trees around it. I really like it. Wow, I'm inside now. You must see that this is gigantic. It's about 7 floors, a huge elevator in the center, and it's actually quite new. I just have to find a shop where I can buy my books. Because it's kind of a labyrinth here. Oh, look over there. A lot of reading people. There's silence. Oh, hey, look at that. Look at that. This is a whole hallway full of computers everywhere, and all for free use. It's quite nice. Okay. Now we're in the 5th floor and there's still some space upside. Look at these cabins. If you're sitting there on a table, you're kinda in there. And here we have a nice cafe. I just found it. Perhaps I take a rest before I continue my searching. It's quite lovely. It's really tiring and somehow annoying to run from class to class to find the right courses, and the main problem is that often the courses are not in the language they used to be. I mean, it's not like some of them are actually, let's say 70% or 75% of all the English courses are not in English. I and my friends already had experience that one professor was like, "What do you think? It's on English? No, it's on Korean. Go away." It was not even really friendly. We were like, "Hey, what?" It was in the description, was clearly standing English. So we're running now out of ideas which course we should take, because just a list you can choose, but we have to become creative to find a course. At least 3 courses or 5 now I'm fixed inside there in English. The last course, chemistry for everyday life, I was the only foreigner, and he was like, "Okay, in that case we make the course in English." And everybody in the class was just looking at me. By the way, see the building over there, the high one with the dark red and white facade? That's a dormitory, and I'm somewhere in the lower middle part of it. Got plenty of noodles in the store again and a lot of soda drink. They actually sell also mineral water, but it has so a strong taste. I mean, I love a lot of sparkles in the mineral water, but if I say it is a lot, then it's really a lot. What I wanted to buy was actually some milk.
Okay, I've got it. Look at it. It's so tiny, tiny little whiny milky.
Tomorrow will be the next party. I wonder how this party will turn out. It's on the 5th day here. And today is so humid. Look at the air. It's even the building in the distance already getting white. And I have now to find some courses. I hope they're on not on Korean instead of English, because I still need 2 more courses. Why? This is so humid. It's not even hot. It's maybe 28 degrees or 29, but it's so wet. Whoa. Oh guys, I was heading for 2 courses today, and both of them the professor didn't appear, and one of them at least we knew that after 5 minutes a guy came and told us he comes next week. But the second course we waited for half an hour in the class, but nobody appeared. It's really great. We really need a sign of this professor to register this course, but nobody comes, and then until Friday, yeah, it's coming to get a little bit stormy right now. But it's still dry in there, so I just go home to the dormitory, get my umbrella. These 2 professors, nah, I really need that signation of them, but I wonder what I do now, because it's getting all a little bit suboptimal. Maybe. Okay, see you guys. I just want to take a look that I get home now without getting wet. So, see you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Uh-oh. Okay, now it's raining. But it's just 100 meters left. The dormitory is like over there. But I put away the camera now. And Charles are running also inside. Up, up! Oh, just made it in time. So, I've got now 3 courses already. 5 are the courses I need. And those 3 courses, one of them is a Korean language course. We had it already 2 days ago, and it was like, yeah, imagine the Korean alphabet is like just a lot of symbols, but they have a logic behind it. It's like an alphabet, and you combine it quite interestingly. So I may show you guys one time, but it's really not that hard, I think. So it's a lot of fun. I think it took the right decision to make this course. Also, our professor is really nice person. I think I've got a lot of fun there.